Welcome to the Altcoin Hour, your weekly alpha. Yeah, we breaking down the charts, flipping bags, playing smart, from the dips to the moon shots, connecting all the dots. Let's get it. Altcoin Hour.
All right. Holy cow. We got a lot to talk about today. Welcome to the show, guys. I hope you're doing very well. Hand clap to you once again. Got my compadre here. LMFG, can you hear me, brother? I think you're back there. Can you hear me?
Yep. Hear you loud and clear.
What is going on, brother? I hope you're nice and warm, man. You know, we talked about all that snow that was about to hit. You guys okay over there? You had a full-blown blizzard up north of you, brother. How's it going?
We didn't get nothing. It came through here a day earlier or so, and then my brother-in-law, they got like 18, 20 inches of wet snow. Yeah, he's on the coast up in Jersey. They're not happy.
Wow. You know, I saw a total in Rhode Island, 32 inches. Crazy. I think it was crazy. I think it was the worst they had recorded. So 32 inches of snow. That's something that you can't shake a stick at that. That's life threatening. But we got a lot to talk about, bro. State of the Union. You know, your take on that. Are you ready for that? I think it's going to be a major catastrophe, but you know, it's going to be something good to pop some popcorn to, you know, and watch. You know, I think it's going to be one Supreme Justice there. I mean, what's your take? Is it going to crash the markets? And we already have a lot to talk about when it comes to markets, but your take on the State of the Union, because he's getting prommed up, President Trump.
There's only one Supreme Court justice going to be there?
From what I saw, it was only one. I don't know if something else, bro. If I was a justice, I wouldn't be there. Yeah, I would get sick, mysteriously sick today.
I said to my wife, I said, you know what? He's going to make such an ass out of himself. He's going to be staring right in your eyes and saying how disappointed he is and blah. And that's something that should not be done. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Susie Wiles got him under her reins. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a major doo-doo show. I'll just keep it clean. But you know, it's crazy. I gotta tell you, bro, I can't wait to see what ZachXBT is gonna drop on Thursday. He's gonna drop a huge scandal, you know, some insider stuff, you know, and he says it's pretty big. We're gonna get into that. The Trump tariffs, oh my God, 15%. LMFG, that's crushing markets. Major liquidations earlier when that was announced. We're gonna look at the ramifications of that as well. 15%. We knew it was coming. Is BTC headed to 50K? We're definitely going to check that out. A lot to get into. DeFi bloodbath. Did you catch? Now, this was on the 23rd of February. And we're talking about a major dashboard on Solana, major decentralized finance protocol on Solana. They say they were robbed of $40 million. Step Finance. Did you catch wind of that? Because we're going to get into that today.
I saw that and I didn't get to read up on it. I've been a little busy today, but I want to follow through. You always got to give it a couple of days whenever any hacks, anything. You never know.
DeFi blood, 40 million now. The executives are saying their phone were, you know, we had a phone hack. You know, my phone was hacked. All this BS. Same thing with the Trumps, with that DPEG. We may get into as a lot. There's so much going on with that DPEG, USD1 DPEG. It's really bizarre. But they're saying that backing of that particular stablecoin, it's convoluted. There's no stopgap, essentially. We know how that was put together. LMFG, we talked about how it was collateralized. You have the Abu Dhabi link, you have Binance with the USD1 situation. That thing almost depegged, and you had one exchange that basically stopped trading because you know, they basically, I think it was Big God or something. They were saying they're not responsible for third-party situations. I think they stopped trading the actual thing. They halted trading because they were in fear that it was going to be delisted and it was going to essentially depegged, go into the abyss. So we do see it's back pegged, you know, but that was crazy. We'll get into that, man. I want to get your take on that. Wall Street, this is a pretty decent headline too as well. Wall Street Insider trading bombshell, Terraform Labs sues Jane Street. This is a Wall Street situation. Plus, we'll get into ZachXBT's drop. This is going to be interesting to get into that too, because $1 million lawsuit, $1 billion lawsuit with Terra Luna. Let's go ahead and get into the market, and we'll jump into that because I thought that was very interesting too as well. I don't know if you caught that, bro. We have Terra Luna back in the fold here. And, you know, Do Juan. We did get SBF. He's not going to get a pardon. You know, hand clap for that. He's not going to get a pardon. And I was shocked that Donald Trump came out and said he's not going to pardon SBF. Were you shocked about that? Because he's kind of dished out some questionable pardons. Were you expecting SBF to get a pardon? I was not. Do Juan, I don't think so as well.
Neither was I. It's just too much against him.
No, absolutely. Headlines are all over the place, guys. Let me tell you, XRP ETF hits a wall. That thing, the inflow with the XRP ETF, and by the way, Cardano ETF, within 75 days, they got a fast track LMFG. You know, hand clap for that too. We got a fast track for the Cardano ETF, 75 days minimum. That thing is going to hit quicker than the Bitcoin ETF. So that's really cool for Hoskinson and for the 88 guys. This XRP ETF hit a wall, 93% down when it comes to inflow. A major capitulation when it comes to that price. What caused it? We may get into that. We got so much to get into, bro. Were you surprised? I'm not surprised because the whole market is hitting the wall. Bitcoin's oversold. I think for the first time in history. We're hitting a wall, LMFG. And I think it has a lot to do, obviously, with the newfound 15% tariffs. But I think infrastructurally, I don't think the market was ready for this type of movement, institutional movement, because it's large, bro. And a lot of the altcoins, they're literally dying, bro. What's your take on that as we get into it?
Yeah, I think the tariff stuff is, have you read up on it? So it's really not that much of a difference, and majority of countries are getting a break on the tariffs that were in place.
Right.
I believe it's the UK and the European Union. They're screaming because it only becomes like an additional 1%. But I guess when you're talking billions of dollars,
yeah, see, yeah,
chump change, you know.
Well, you have FedEx that came out and is basically sued the government.
I see that. Yeah,
that was huge, bro. That was it. And everybody wants to cancel FedEx. You can't cancel FedEx. I'm sorry.
Right.
You cannot cancel FedEx. I thought it was very foolish, all those tweets about cancel. I'm not using FedEx. Yes, you are. You're going to use FedEx. You're going to use UPS because they're going to be suing too. And, putting all this on the United States Postal Service, good luck. Because 10 roads, I know a lot about this, guys. This is my field. 10 roads was one of the largest, third parties for the United States Postal Service that actually moved a lot of the mail, for the government. They went bankrupt. So good luck good luck. You're not going to get any of your packages. If they take on this full bruntly and everybody, let's just say FedEx is canceled, good luck getting your packages, right? We're going to need to bring the Pony Express back because it's going to get ugly. Big time. But LMFG, all of this is falling. It's really, running parallel and it's affecting markets. Stocks are essentially blown up. If you're looking at the stock market, you're going to get the wrong idea. If you're looking at inflation rates, which they're saying they're going down, you're getting the wrong idea. Look at the job market, it's collapsing. And the 15% tariffs is going to really, really go hard because a lot of people aren't working LMFG. So I don't know who's going to, these companies are screwed essentially because, and this is why FedEx is like, I want my money back. We absorb these tariffs so people would not get hit so hard. We want our money back. And this is just the first corporation that's going to come hard at the government. So this is going to affect stocks. You see a Mag 7 pumping as well, but the new AI articles and the new AI that's coming out, all these, the sentiment, it is very bearish. Did you see what happened to IBM? Crazy LMFG. I know you caught that.
No, sorry, I didn't.
A complete collapse in the stock price. It's about to get really turbulent. Now, this Trump situation, everybody's saying this is going to really push BTC down to $50,000. Now, it got wrecked 5% as soon as the announcement. All right, we're talking about it dropped 5%, right? 63K is where I saw it when it did drop. We're at 64 at this point in time. Okay, hovering around 63 essentially. We're down 50% from $126,000 ATH, which hit in October 2025. LMFG, 50%. Hugely oversold. Bitcoin is in territory. I think it's in worse condition than the Mt. Gox situation or COVID. It's in a really bad spot right now. Now, I'm not trying to stick a fork in Bitcoin, LMFG. I'm not doing that. But I have to tell you, the whole market is getting tested. And I'm not talking about the tech. I'm talking about DeFi as well, because my Lord, what happened with Step Finance? And we just had this with Zero Land too. You remember Zero Land? We talked about that a couple of weeks. That was a pretty big deal too. A lot of these devs and executives are claiming that they were hacked. It was like something that happened in the background. They had nothing to do with it. 40 million stole. And it wasn't our fault, guys. Our phones, our cell phones, they're literally saying that their cell phone was hacked. It's crazy. Lost private keys. LMFG, you can only do this for so long. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest. These platforms are failing. Their security levels are very minimal. They did not build these protocols properly. And there's insider shit. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but go ahead, brother.
If they're not using multi-sig, then what am I missing? You follow me?
I don't even think that works.
Hacking this and that. I don't get it, man. If you have coins, your custody of coins, and I don't care if it's pools or whatever, there's no way.
No, absolutely.
It's inside.
Well, that's what everybody's saying. Now, analysts are split on this tariff thing. They're screaming 60K to 55K flush incoming with Bitcoin. Others are saying BTC has no direct tariff exposure. But the sentiment is the real killer, which, however people feel. The fear index is crazy right now. It's crazy low. So half of the BTC supply is underwater, and the fear is crazy right now. LMFG. So it's a recipe for risk off, essentially. People going to sell. Institutions keep buying, though. You know, over 500 million in crypto liquidations within the past 24 hours. $500 million, right? Spot Bitcoin ETF saw another 3.4 billion in outflows as well. This is in the past couple of weeks, but you still see the institutions flowing back in, buying the dip. You could clearly see it on the chart. Dips are being bought. The Bitcoin dip continues to be bought because of the nature of it. Michael Saylor, he's bought. I think he bought like a week ago. He's underwater. Unreal losses are crazy with strategies right now. It's a lot. My Lord, bro. Let me tell you. We need to pray for Bitcoin. It is under a lot of pressure. It is under a lot of pressure, but risk off right now, big time. This Step Finance is a Solana dashboard, LMFG. Let's get into this. Well, actually, let's go ahead and get into the price points, and then we'll get deep into that. What's going on, Trey? What's going on, Tracy? I hope you're having a great morning today, dear. $64,000 for Bitcoin price. We're talking about that right now. A lot of bad news when it comes, and I want to get into the miner situation because the miners are the backbone of Bitcoin. You had miners, conglomerates, huge conglomerates overseas shut down, LMFG. This is getting real. It's not just in America. We're in the box. We need to get out the box. We need to look at this thing globally. Look at it in a global sense, LMFG. Do you agree? I think we're in a box. We need to expand our horizons when it comes to actually assessing the situation. It's not just within our borders. Now you got Brazil. There was a Brazilian Bitcoin miner group was cut all the way down to zero. These companies are cut all the way down to zero. They're unplugging the miners and they're trying to find another source of energy in Brazil. So they're looking towards a solar option, LMFG. Now we talked about these alternatives. I think geothermal is the best alternative to a traditional, friction energy. Resonance is what I like to call it, right? Carbon resonance. LMFG, when you're conglomerate, when your Bitcoin miners are looking for other energy sources, is solar dependable? As we look at $64,000 Bitcoin here, trying to move up to 65. It's a pretty good push here, buy push here. I think it's all institutional. LMFG, when it comes to these miners, they're underwater. 65 and 64, 63,000, and God forbid $50,000 Bitcoin is not going to do it. It's not going to pay the bills. They're going to surrender. Other alternatives are the best option for these guys. That way they can kind of like bring down the electricity bill. Those actual monies going to powering the units. Is solar an actual option? I don't think so, bro. I really don't.
Not too weak, too expensive. Not worth it. At least not today's, plus you're feeding these batteries. The overhead of the batteries, people don't realize it's horrendous, you know. And now, granted, these lithiums, I think you may get 8 or 10 years out of them.
Yeah.
We had UPS's guys, a small company, and we'd have to spend $30,000-$40,000 every 5 years on a set of batteries. You know, and if you use the unit every few times, you got to have a guy come in, check everything, and you have to replace some of those batteries, you know. So batteries are a nightmare.
It's a little wacky. It's crazy what's going on because everything is hitting the shitter. Everything is hitting at once. You know, you got geopolitics. You have issues with miners. The miners are going to crazy issues right now with profitability. You have Bitcoin, big time oversold situation. These scores are phenomenal when it comes to Bitcoin's oversold nature here. Here's a little tidbit of it. Bitcoin slides into the worst profit cycle in history, guys. 59% of supply literally turned red within weeks. And this is not good for the backbone, which is proof of work, guys. Miners are getting shellacked right now. And I don't think a lot of people understand. The miners are the spine of Bitcoin, not institutions, not Michael Saylor. Those are just buyers. All right. The miners are the backbone, the spine of Bitcoin, and they are hurting right now. LMFG. They're pulling out. Here's another headline. Bitcoin slides towards 5th straight month loss as 4.5 billion ETF outflows put $58,000 on the line. I really think we're going to 50K, bro, right now. It's not going to kill Bitcoin, but I really think we're going, and it's going to be a tailspin. And I kind of think it's going to start after the State of the Union. The sentiment is going to be so bearish after that, unfortunately. But we did get a rebound. We are at 64 right after the tariff announcements, and a lot of people are saying we're going to get there. It's going to get back to 70K. That would be beautiful. But here's another headline when it comes to the backbone of Bitcoin. Before we get to the price count, the largest U.S. Bitcoin miners dumped this is a part of the dumpage we saw in the last couple of days. A lot of it came from the miners. All right. I'm gonna read this headline again. Largest U.S. Bitcoin miner dumps entire BTC stash as margin pressure intensifies. LMFG, this is something that no one is talking about. It's all about Saylor. It's all about the buyership. The backbone of Bitcoin is breaking. All right. BitDeer liquidates 1,000 BTC. It was a little over 1,100. As financing reshuffles and it raises sectors questions. So you have miners that are refinancing their ideas, shutting up shop. And I think a lot of them are actually trying to get loans. LMFG, this is not looking good. This is the spine of Bitcoin, literally the spine of the space. And I did tell you guys about BlackRock. BlackRock wants to fork this thing. They want to get off this energy hog. This is not helping. This is actually helping them. What's going on with Bitcoin, with the miners, with profitability? Because if you can't afford to plug them up, where do we go from here, bro?
Yeah, that gets ugly. I don't know. And granted, down the road, technology, these computers will get less and less power hungry. But you're talking it takes every 5 years or so, 8 years, where you're regenerating all
right.
And I don't. It ain't gonna make it at the like you said, these prices. I don't even know if they're making money today, dude.
No, they're underwater, bro.
Yeah,
you're not making money. Yeah.
So anything that they're mining, they're dumping just to pay the bills.
Yeah, they're living off their proceeds. Absolutely. And that's extra pressure on Bitcoin. I think the cost to run is like 85,000, right? Bitcoin is at 64,000. It just tells you the gap. Yeah. So, I'm reading these stories because I was a miner previously too in my early days before I started trading. I understand. And it was cheap back then. I don't know how these guys are doing it right now. Jesus. I mean, if you're rich, if you're the Trumps, yeah, you can afford to pay those electricity bills, right? You're making $1 billion in crypto space. You're fleecing the crypto space. You can throw those monies. Yeah, you can afford it. But these OG miners, these guys are just trying to make it, man. They're getting their asses kicked. It's crazy. It is not good. So, yeah, this is, let's go ahead and get to, because I can go on and on with this, but it just gets more bearish when it comes to that. So we're going to move on with the countdown because ETH, Vitalik sold he sold a lot of Ethereum, bro, and that pissed off a lot of people. And it's just not Vitalik. There's a lot of foundation members that are selling ETH. Okay, there's a lot of retail that is selling ETH at this point in time. ETH is sitting at $1,800. A lot of people saying it's going to go below 1,000 LMFG. What does the ecosystem look like when ETH's below 1,000? I mean, that's going to be a major shift in sentiment, especially across DeFi protocols. What's your take on that? 1,800. Vitalik is selling profusely. You know, it's just not him. But go ahead, bro.
That would be who knows? That could be detrimental. I don't see that yet. That's awful. That would be awful low. How much funds wise would that pull out of there? We'd have to go check. Out of the liquidity, you know, what would happen? Would we have a collapse?
Yeah, I doubt that. But you know, because there's ETF involved here. But you know, it would kind of hold it, I believe. I got to check the Ethereum ETF outflow lately, but I think that ETF would probably hold it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't look good.
You don't think those ETFs will start getting dumped at 1,500 and 1,300, say?
Yeah, if that happens, then it's a wrap because you know retail is going to follow.
Their losses, yeah, they don't care. They will cut their losses.
Yeah, and then you know institutions and retail. Yeah, no, you're right, bro. When the ETF starts moving, it's a wrap. Buterin leaked. Yeah, no, you know, you bring up a great point. You know, that ETF vehicle is a double-edged sword. It's good when it's coming in, but when it's going out, it could be a wave of outflow, and we see that with Bitcoin. And then that scares retail and the institutions, the private investors. And then we see ETH, you know, $500 ETH. That would be nuts. You know, that would be nuts. But I'm seeing these reports. Buterin linked wallets have been associated with roughly over 3,700 ETH sold over the past 2.5 days. And around 10,000, let's go ahead and say 11,000 ETH sold since February the 2nd. The dollar terms that activity has been reported is about $7.1 million. So Mr. Buterin himself has sold over $7.1 million in ETH. The last sale was February 2nd, LMFG. He's really selling a lot of ETH, brother. So I can understand why people are, you know, kind of shaky about this. ETF outflow, I just looked at that too as well. You know, it's kind of like catching up with him, bro. So what you said was absolutely correct. And this is why you see ETH kind of like battling below predicted, you know, levels, because a lot of people were, you know, are pretty shocked when it went below $2,000. So yeah, to date, yeah, they even have his wallet, dude. They've really been tracking this guy big time. You know, he's the leader, of course. He's the leader. Ethereum is sitting at $1,800. Let's go ahead and move on. That's pretty bearish, bro. I hope that doesn't collapse to $1,000. I think just at 1,000, if you remove 800 from that price right now, I think a lot of retail, I think a lot of ETH and a lot of the staked ETH, it can't move, obviously, you know, but holy crap, man. This could be a tsunami of outflow if things don't stabilize when it comes to ETH. But ETH is not going to disappear. Let's not get it twisted. We have a tether which remains pegged. USD1 scared everybody, the living daylights out of everybody. LMFG, we'll talk about that in a little bit. XRP, that ETF hit a wall, 93% down on that volume. That thing is collapsing, guys. The XRP ETF is in full-blown collapse mode. So we'll see what happens here. Very interesting. This is that double-edged sword when it comes to these ETFs. Binance is below $600 as well. USDC, which is a stablecoin. I'm calling out these stablecoins because we had a USD1 disaster. So everybody's looking at these pegs. Tether, I think both of these, Tether and USDC, we saw a pretty considerable depeg in both of these before, if you know the history. So this happens from time to time. It's not anything new, but with this USD1 situation, it was pretty scary because it's quite new. It's the president's darling, the Trump bros darling. It's wrapped up into the World Liberty Finance, LMFG. So that depeg was very significant. And a lot of people are dissecting what happened there. And it's pretty interesting storyline, you know, big time. And one exchange is coming out saying if it happens again, we're delisting it. So it's very interesting what's going on there. Solana 78 guys. A lot of pressure with the Solana situation. We'll bring it up because I want to get into the step finance because once again, because you're talking about a major dashboard, LMFG, and I love DeFi. I love DeFi. By the way, DeFi across the board, TVL across all chains, almost down 4%. So there is a mass exodus when it comes to the market. Globally, we're getting really close to 2 trillion. We are in a regressive state right now that's pretty phenomenal when you really think about it. Oversold positions, it's just crazy. Liquidations across the board, mad. And then we get the 15% tariff, which really, I think broke the camel's back when it comes to the market. Fear is crazy right now. Now the Solana dashboard, Step Finance, and it was just not Step, guys. Sister projects that include Solana, Floor, and Romero markets announced immediate full shutdown, guys, today. All of this, not just Step, the actual subsidiaries as well. They're shutting down as well. Operations are closed at LMFG. This is a big time DeFi protocol on Solana blockchain. This moved the price down as well. We got, I think it went down as far as what, 75? Where'd it go, LMFG? No, yeah, 75. Right, so we're at 78. Obviously, people are buying this dip. It's still a very extravagant coin. People still want to get in position, but I think this was a mortal wound here. Now, the root cause. Let's get into the root cause on the 31st of January. A potential hack, a phone hack, an executive's phone was hacked. This is what they said, and that particular hack presented a bridge to where 27 to 40 million from the treasury was actually excavated, was actually removed, LMFG, from the treasury. Now, it's pretty weird that this executive had the treasury linked on his cell phone. That's pretty irresponsible. We're talking about a major wallet here.
No way, never happened.
Yeah, it's bullshit. This is bullshit. We know what happened, but I'm just, we're getting through this because we've seen this happen with Zero Land. These devs of these decentralized, because they're loaded with capital, they have a lot of stablecoin activity. People are staking, people getting yield. Borrowing and lending is happening on these particular protocols, guys. Lots of cash is loaded on these protocols. They stole this money because they stole it. I'm sorry.
I said, no way, it never happened. 100% could happen, but he set it up that way.
Absolutely.
It was known. There's no way you would set a phone up to access those kind of funds ever.
No, absolutely. This is a setup. And when I say setup, I'm talking about this inside. And I want to get the actual, because I don't want to misspeak or anything. There's an actual, and see, a lot of this has been scrubbed. That team is scrubbing a lot of their previous tweets, which is very, very interesting too as well. Well, let me continue with this because 40 million, that's a lot of money. Now, there is some actual, good stuff coming out of here as well, which they always do this just to make it seem like they're good faith guys. I'm sorry. Why was the treasury wallet linked and actually accessible through this guy's phone? Come on, man. You're an executive. You know better than this. You don't put access. This type of money should not be accessible via your phone as an executive. This should be totally separate, right? Separate accounts, separate, multi-sig. A lot of money there. 40 mil. So if I grab this phone, it's just a click, hit send to my wallet and it's a wrap. It shouldn't be that easy. You shouldn't have access to the treasury like that. It's crazy. So this is essentially what they're saying. It was a phone hack. A couple of executives got their phone hacked. The hacker got access to the treasury through these phones. All right. But they're saying no smart contract exploit. It was pure social engineering that caused this. LMFG, this is a bunch of BS, man. The devices were compromised. No. So only 4.7 million was recovered so far. It's a shake in the bucket, right? The team tried raising emergency funds and selling the project, but no one wanted the project, LMFG. So they tried to raise funds. They actually recovered a little over 4 million. They tried to sell Step Finance, had no takers. Would you buy this? If they came to you and said, hey man, we just completely nuked this, but it's for sale. It's a good deal. We'll give it to you at a discount. Are you buying Step Finance? No, I'm not.
Never happened.
These guys are a joke. This is hilarious, and this happens a lot. This one is just one of the biggest ones, and this happened to really pull Solana down. A lot of people say this may tank Solana, the TVO. It is down 4%, but across the board, everybody's TVO when it comes to DeFi across the board, even ETH down, 3-4%. So at least they can hide behind the collective. It doesn't stick out, but this is really bad. Now, the native step token is already down 100%. So it's a wrap. If you hold the token, it's a wrap. Lick your wounds. It's a wrap. Since the hack, another 36% crash happened today as well when it comes to other synthetic tokens, which is already wrapped up into the borrowing and lending in the yield bearing synthetic tokens here. It's worth absolutely nothing. So who in the hell would give these guys money to buy this? I mean, you can probably give it to someone for free because it's worth nothing at this point in time. Now, the team statements, just summarizing the statements. So for the Step Finance debacle, they have literally, this is a quote, no viable path forward. They're now planning token buybacks and R token, which is a synthetic token there for the yield, redemptions for the users as well. Now, this is the biggest trusted Solana project to date, and it literally died. It literally killed over and died due to the incompetence of these executives. This is crazy. This is wild, LMFG. Your last intake says we move on, man, to the Terra Luna situation. XBT. Zach is about to drop a nuke on Thursday. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but it's supposed to be really, really, really bombshell, a report here. Your lasting takes on Step Finance as we move on, and then we'll move from Solana because Solana's going to take a hit from this. I think residually, you're going into the next quarters. Solana may go down to $50. LMFG, what's your lasting take on this? You're definitely not buying this, right?
No, I think I've seen your thing because I got those winnings. I was like, should I sell at 80? Lock it up in USDC? I don't know. I know when any projects, any change, this always happens. So hopefully it's it's not too hard on them. We'll see.
You would hope not. You would hope not, man. See, here's the thing, and I was telling you guys about the actual AI situation, which it's tethered to crypto right now. Here's breaking news here when it comes to this, and this correlates with the space. There's so much cryptocurrency, wrapped up into this situation here. U.S. Defense Secretary Peter Hexley has threatened to cut Anthropic, LMFG, from the Pentagon supply chain unless it agrees to its technology being used in, quote, all lawful military applications, unquote. This includes, he's demanding this by Friday, actually. They're going to invoke Defense Production Act over Anthropic. Jesus, bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. AI has already taken a big hit. He's supposed to be meeting with the Anthropic CEOs today. Basically, the government's trying to take over this freaking situation, bro. Anthropic is back under pressure once again. This is a headline. This is a Kabasi report. Bro, I just told you guys about the actual AI debacle. It's not good. The IBM thing is a big thing there. That crash. Anthropic. LMFG, I could be wrong. Seems like a government takeover of Anthropic. This is what they're wanting. They're demanding the answer by Friday. And I just told you, they want to use it for all lawful military applications. They want Anthropic. They want it in the Pentagon. LMFG, does this shock you? Because this is kind of crazy right here.
Yeah, and I actually, I'm getting, I don't like this AI more and more right now. Go look, there's more videos with that Boston Dynamic robot. I think can lift up 100 pounds.
Yeah.
What's going to change it to be able to lift up 200? It could change its own batteries, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's going to be able to build its own chargers. I don't trust it. And then you know what to test.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You threaten it and it comes out and goes after you. Not good. I don't like it. It scares me that all of this AI. And here's the government wanting to get into this. That could be the worst.
I think that was the worst thing that anybody You want to hear when it comes, if you're invested in AI in the cryptocurrency space, or if you're invested in AI in the stock market, you don't want to hear that, because it's going to scare that's going to rattle the nest big time. That and Anthropic is, I think, is top notch. The Claude is top notch. I think it's scary, actually. It reminds me of Skynet. If you're a big Terminator fan, very interesting.
I think you're going to see a lot of that rumors and everybody saying this is what's going to happen, because these robots they're doing cartwheels, guys. They can run. It's not,
very liquid motion too. Yeah, no, you're right.
And then they're having the AI create all its movements. All it does is watch. You put in cameras, and the robot can do exactly what you do within seconds.
And see that,
perfect it within hours.
Well, that same technology is going to be embedded in some of the world's largest trading groups too, as well. This AI algorithm traders, these AI traders, bro, they are. I think a lot of them are beating a lot of human traders right now, to the point to where you have AI. When AI is in the midst of selling and buying, I think it moves the market even quicker than it's ever been moved before, because of the AI intervention, because of the AI trading. A lot of humans, institutions, they use AI. They know it's not like a group of people at a desk clicking mouses, looking at charts. They're using AI. They're using algorithms. These AI traders are crazy. They're moving the market in ways that I've never seen it being moved before. You know, you take this AI out, and I don't think Bitcoin is moving like a shitcoin, guys. But due to the AI intervention, the AI trading, the automated trading that has existed, and it existed in the 70s too as well. I think Lehman Brothers had their software back then. You know, I think that's what caused Black Monday. You know, early versions of this shit. Bad trading. I don't know. I remember, reading about that. They had these, automated traders. It was very archaic. It was very draconian. It was very early. You're talking DOS shit, But here we are. AI is doing a lot of trading, and we're talking about these robots. AI could wreck this space so quick. I mean, it doesn't have emotions. When it's time to take profit, AI takes profit. It doesn't wait. It's not greedy. When it sells, it sells. It doesn't think about it. And when it buys, it buys. And we're not going to be able to compete with that going into the future, LMFG. So, an old trader told me, get your money now. Because once AI really takes over these markets, we're not going to be able to keep up with it. We're going to have to join, get our own agents and allow them to compete with each other. Solana, $78. No, go ahead, brother. My bad. What'd you take on that, man? I've been thinking about that a lot.
This is how the banks are going to do it. You're going to hire a broker.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not going to be worth it for you. And it's just, I got a bunch of friends, I said, hey, get into this. And they're like, I call a guy when I want and say, how much money do I got? You making me money? And he hangs up the phone. He doesn't care. And you have a lot of people like that. Now they can start making more money because of the AI trades. And you get a broker and you're semi-insured. We'll see. Watch, that Clarity Act gets passed. That thing's going to get tweaked for the next 8 years, 10 years.
Oh my God. You don't want to know, bro.
So many amendments.
You don't want to know what's going on. If you caught the video, the little bumper before the live, you know what's going on. It's crazy. The banks are winning that battle. I don't think we're going to be able to get yield. Fourth quarter is probably, I think, when we'll see passage. I don't know. It just depends on what happens in midterm. I actually do. We do have an update on that. You know what? Let's get into a Clarity Act update real quick before we move on. Let's do that.
Not a bill at any cost, but my job.
And again, just to reiterate this is going to be a Clarity Act update. White House official said Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill is closer than ever to be passed. And this is one of the senators that are just looking over this. We had the banking committee spar out with crypto guys, Garlinghouse, which he's just sitting there with popcorn. Like I told you guys, they don't give a shit. Brian Armstrong was getting just melee. It's a complete melee. Brian Armstrong is being beaten to a pulp. The banks are just, it's crazy. What's up, Benji? How you doing, Mom? I'm sorry there. I hope you're having a great day. Let's get into the report. This is a little breaking little report on Clarity Act.
my job is to get a bill to the president's desk. Now, that is not a bill at any cost, but understanding that the democratic process works in a way that there's going to have to be compromises, and on all issues, individuals are going to have to give, and depending on their perspective, it might not be perfect, but let's not let perfect be the enemy of the good here. There's a lot of great aspects to this bill, totally separate and apart from the stablecoin issue here. And, if we can solve this issue in a way that narrowly addresses the issue that the banks have raised, but also permits stablecoins to be the amazing innovation that they are, and we want to encourage their growth, not only domestically, but internationally, then let's keep the overall picture in mind here. And let's see if we can find something that both sides can live with here. So I think we're closer to being able to get a result done than we ever have been on this particular issue. We're also closer to getting this bill done. I think, again, as I mentioned at the onset, leading up to that January 18th markup, this wasn't the only issue that was raised that key stakeholders had issues with, but this really has been the key issue that I believe if we solve this, it's going to start a domino effect here, and I think things could move pretty fast once it's resolved.
All right, so listen, no progress. LMFG, what you take? No progress. I'm looking at these comments too. Everybody's like, yeah, all right.
Typical politicians. Look how he opened it up. My job is to get a bill to the president's desk. I didn't say nothing about this one.
It's not happening. I think Charles was right. 2029. Now, this comment got me right here, because I think this is pretty much the mass sentiment, and when it comes to people who really don't understand crypto. Nana says, I still don't understand what Bitcoin is. And a lot of people don't. This is the thing. A lot of people think, especially, us guys in the space, us OGers, degens, things of that nature. We think everybody knows what Bitcoin is. We really do. We think everybody understands crypto, and they don't. A large part of the population, as the humans that are on this globe, do not really understand Bitcoin. They don't even know what it is. They don't know what blockchain is. They don't understand what a DEX is. They don't understand what centralized exchanges are. There are millions of people who don't even know this space exists. And I think we need to understand that. And we need to understand that the people who are in that have actually hijacked Bitcoin, they understand that too. So that's what rocks me. That's what scares me. Marco Bombastic says, bro, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Lots of hurdles still to be cleared. He is so right. He is so right. This is probably going to go on for a long time, LMFG. I don't see any resolution. I don't see any type of conclusion here. The banks are basically digging in. They want full control over this. And I don't think they're going to get it. So, we did get the Genius Act. That's all about treasury bonds. I'm sorry. That's all about wrapping our debt into these stable coins. That's what that's about. And basically solidifying the World Liberty Finance futures. And this is why Elizabeth Warren is like, we need to bring that back too, guys. It's a very interesting, conundrum we have here. Solana, $78. We talked about that. Hopefully we can get that back up to 100 because it doesn't look good for Solana. We talked about the hack. We wrapped that up. We're going to get into this Terraform's lab suing Jane Street and ZachXBT, which he's supposed to drop a nuke on February 26th. It's going to be this week. Now, we'll get into the bankruptcy situation and why Terra Luna, Todd Snyder, is actually blaming Jane Street, which is a Wall Street giant. Jane Street. You know what I'm talking about, bro?
No, I don't.
It's a huge Wall Street giant here. Co-founder Robert Gennari and two traders are being sued from Jane Street for insider trading that allegedly sped up the $40 billion Terra UST collapse that happened in May of 2022. We'll get into those allegations here in a little bit. Finish up this countdown because that's huge. And Do One said he didn't do it. He was set up. I think he was right. Now, as far as SBF saying it was Joe Biden's fault that FTX collapsed, he actually said that. I don't know about that. But I'm starting to believe that this Doan dude, I don't think, I think they set him up. I think he was a patsy. And I don't think he realized it. We'll get into that in a little bit. Tron, 28 cents, moving like a stablecoin. Dogecoin, 9 cents. Bitcoin Cash, $483, down 14%. What the hell is going on with Bitcoin Cash? Cardano, 26 cents. Some good news on that ETF front. Absolutely. On the ADA, down 8%. Altcoins are bleeding. We have Hyperliquid, 20 LMFG. Hyperliquid is getting really dangerously close to $20. If that coin gets to $20, I think there's going to be a mass sell-off because everybody was expecting $40 to $50. That is a perp exchange. So that's kind of this is exchange. Derivatives, perp. This is kind of interesting to me. We're talking an exchange coin moving very profusely through the platform, involved in yield burning situations, huge trading situations. LMFG, when you see these, exchange coins doing this, it's pretty interesting. And this is quite new. It made a lot of money last year, Hyperliquid. We have Asta, which is a big disappointment for a lot of people as well, a major competitor to, well, not anymore. But when you see these exchange coins like Hyperliquid, which is an actual blockchain as well, when you see this type of movement, when it was predicted to do so much more, mind you, this market is dog poop. It's really bad. But LMFG, this is alarm you, especially if you're holding this thing, expecting, a upward trajectory because of the nature of the platform. It's not a shit coin.
Right, yeah, it throws you off because isn't there quite a bit of volume on there?
Yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of PBL. Weird. I don't know. I'm not getting it. Or again, like I said, a lot of projects I see them going away, and they're going to wind up, collaborating and working together. And I think a lot of them are going to start. We'll see what this Clarity Act comes through. Mm-hmm. That's where you're going to see all the big boys, J.P. Morgan and Chase and all these. They're going to start all hiring like crazy because they're going to have that in-house. They're going to have blockchain. They're going to have developers in-house. We'll see. I've been saying it for how long, that Clarity Act. We got to see, and then it's got to get picked apart and all amendments. And we always talk about the banks too, brother. And
yeah.
Blue Owl Capital, 1.5 billion they just dumped the other day just to cover retail withdrawals. That's kind of 2008 shit, man.
No, it is. Yeah.
That's not jump change, and that's what a lot of guys are saying. Like, hope this doesn't start the domino effect of what we went through in 2000 and 2008. We'll see.
Well, that's what Jamie Dimon is screaming right now. 2008 vibes. Lending competition is crazy right now, but at the same time, defaults are crazy. Banks are losing money.
Yeah, bad. I mean, that's assets they had to dump just to cover the withdrawals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, oh man. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We'll get into that. Well, we don't have time to get into that. That's a whole nother niche right there. But yeah, moving on. Canton, 16 cents, which is a good buy there for Canton. Monero, $323, holding tight. LMFG, Chainlink, the massive platform that is irreplaceable. It is hovering at $8. Still a great buy. I love Chainlink. Down almost 8% though. All coins are basically ice cold. Stellar, 15 cents there. Hedera, Age Bar, which I think they launched something recently. Some hardware. I gotta look that up. I heard somebody was telling me they launched some hardware. 9 cents for Hedera as well. And yeah, I think FedEx actually started a node on the Age Bar node, which is very interesting too as well. Very interesting. FedEx starting nodes. I thought that was very interesting. Zcash, LMFG, I don't think it's going to even get close to that ATH that it made earlier this year. I think it was $750. It's not going back. Litecoin 51. Will Litecoin get back to $100? I think it will. AVAX, we'll round it up with AVAX. Top 25 guys, $8.35. It is down across the board. We got to give a robust, supportive hand clap for the market. It needs it. It's unfortunate what is going on here. Global market cap, globally, it is trying to push back up. LMFG, we are so far down. Fear and greed index, 11. Altcoin index, forget about it. Don't even look at it. Element. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. Altcoin season is done. We're not going to see that. I think we're like 2 or 3 years away from a robust alt movement, and we're going to need those ETFs. So we got Cardano coming, 75 days until that hits, that spot ETF. We have some that are rolling in the World Liberty Finance ETF basket. That's going to be a stakeable situation. There's a lot of altcoins in that basket. If that ever gets going, that's going to be pretty robust too. But Elizabeth Warren is trying to just tear that down. She's trying to tear that down. So within the last 30 days, this globally, we are getting our butts kicked. But the dominance is real. Bitcoin dominance is real. I wanted to look at this actual ETF outflow, and I don't even want to look at that as well. It's just so bearish. I don't even want to look at that. So we're going to move into this DeFi report too as well, because I wanted to talk about this before we get to Zach. This is something that really shocked me, LMFG, because I think TVL is very important to watch across the board. Almost 4% down across the board when it comes to DeFi total value lock. This is the meat and potatoes of the space. This is what we got. That's all we got. That's keeping people here. The memes are, making people run right now. That volume is very, very low. People are getting wrecked, silently wrecked, because there's just nothing but scams going on right now. Nothing substantial. NFTs. I'm not even going to go there right now. That's pretty bearish too as well. Nothing new there. So it's just DeFi and the tech, right? And you have devs that are building and are reconfiguring things of that nature. Trying to quantum proof things, people just trying to do stuff. Devs are trying to do stuff. You look at this TVL LMFG almost down. This is on a 24-hour period. Down almost 4%. Huge reduction across the board, especially with ETH, especially with Solana, with the step finance, that going to zero, right? This is significant. When I see a TVL drop close to 4% within a 24-hour period, this is what makes me buck my eyes. This is when I start looking at what's really going on, and it really, really rattles me a bit, because this is a considerable drop within a 24-hour period, guys. We're talking about a reduction of billions of dollars. LMFG, TVL is real. It's very important. Bloodline of the space. Does anybody care about this?
They better. That's it. But if you look at where all those spikes are, that's where you're going to see your peaks of all the pricing of everything that's out there. So,
yep.
And you see DeFi, Ondo, right? So they got tokenized assets now, real world assets, right?
Yeah.
And I just seen a thing that it's now listed on Binance Alpha. What is Binance Alpha?
Well, I don't know if that's, legit. I don't know if DeFi Llama is actually late on tracking that, but I don't see that in the metrics. I don't see that on the board. All I see is Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Ledger, Stellar, Plume. We see Sia, or Sia, however you want to pronounce that. Aptos, Mantle, Suchain, Noble, Arbitrum, and Polygon. That's all I see. I do not see Binance.
Well, I've seen it on Twitter, but it's from the Binance account.
Okay.
Their corporate account, so I'm only figuring. But I don't know what Binance Alpha is. What is that? You have to be accredited?
It's probably not available for us. I'll tell you that much. You know how that is.
Binance is not in the U.S.
Right. I'll have to look into that.
Not Binance U.S. I'm talking about. I'm talking Binance.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's some type of splinter, kind of like a splintered off situation. Yeah. Speaking of Ondo, it is up. When it comes to TVO, it is up. We're talking about RWAs. It is up with the TVO, because that's the nature, that's the core of. Since you brought it up, let's look at it, because it just keeps rising. So if you're an Ondo holder, you should be feeling good about that. It's like a dark horse right now. Within all the blood when it comes to TVO, it continues to rise. You can see it in the graph, LMFG. I know you can see that, bro.
I think they got even Tesla shares tokenized.
They got a lot, brother. They got a lot. Been making some money too quarterly. Let's see. What is it? Last year, they made some money, bro. This thing is pretty young too. They made this Q4 2025, $3 million. Q3 2025, $13 million. And then they kind of fell off there a little bit in Q2 of 2025. But I read that backwards, actually. The fall off was in Q4 of 2025. I'm sorry. They made the most money last year in Q3, over $13 million. So Undo is doing it right. Undo is doing it right. But I just want to jump on that. And you brought up Undo because, yeah, it's the shining horse. You have Paxos Gold, which gold is over 50. I think it's $5,100 right now. So obviously that is the beautiful thing about gold. It is resistant to all of the bull. It's only been manipulated. If you just leave gold alone, it will skyrocket. But they can, that's a whole nother niche. But it is, and you have Undo right beside it. It's very cool that you brought that up, bro, because we do have that. Now, there's, Centrifuge is doing well as well. But I got to tell you, globally, you see the right. Pay attention to TVL. This is a very a serious situation here. Very serious. Now, I want to get to this ZachXBT thing because this is crazy. So LMFG, let's get into this briefly because the Terra Luna thing is crazy too. And I forgot to get into the allegations. Hold on. Let's finish up the Terra Luna situation because Do One, it really has nothing to do with Do One at this point in time because we're talking about the actual Todd Snyder here. Suing Jane Street. Here's the allegations. This is why Terra Luna collapsed. Now, Jane Street got material non-public info from Terraform insiders. Okay, this is an insider trader situation. So this huge Wall Street conglomerate actually got some inside information. This is what's been found out here. Then they front ran the whole situation by pulling $85 million worth of UST from Curve Pool. This is Curve Finance. It was a pool, all right, that was set up on Curve Finance. There's that DeFi infrastructure that's so critical to be secured. Multi-sig. We got to secure these things a whole lot because we had Step Finance, we had Zero Lend. There's going to be more too, unfortunately. But apparently this information allowed Jane Street, huge conglomerate, Wall Street conglomerate, to actually pull $150 million from this Curve pool. All right. Literally minutes after they got the information, the friend ran it, got $150 million from this pool. Here's a quote here. Trades that would have been impossible without insider information, unquote. So those are the allegations. Will this hold up in court? I don't know. Will this absolve Do One? This is the question. Will he get a pardon if this goes through and it is deemed that this was an actual insider trading situation? Some insider information was given to a Wall Street conglomerate that actually went into an actual pool and front ran it, LMFG, for $150 million. And this collapsed you as the actual pair. You guys know how this went. 2022. If you don't, look it up. It was pretty nasty. Then you had FTX.
Yeah, if he winds up guilty and this is found real, there'll be no pardons. It'll be just like Brinkman.
You don't think they're going to pardon? I think he deserves a pardon, bro. Because they blame this all on this guy.
Well, yeah, let's see where it all came from. If he had anything to do with it, that's
right.
something else, but ugly.
I think he deserves a pardon if this case proves that Jane Street front ran those situations due to some insider information they got from some Terraform insiders. You got to absolve him, bro. You know what I mean?
Those guys, yeah, they got to get those guys. Go after them.
This is crazy that this is coming up. I thought this was a done deal. Everybody don't want. I remember when he was excoriated. I remember when they found him in Montegro, I think it was. Hiding in somebody's basement or some shit like that. I don't know. And now here, if it comes out that he was innocent the whole time, man, that's crazy. So Jane Street fires back, calling it desperate and baseless claims. Quote, this lawsuit is heavily redacted, but explosive, unquote. So we'll see. This is what's Discovery is going to hit, Discovery is going to hit. So we'll find out what's going on here. So let's get to Zach, because tomorrow on-chain detective ZachXBT drops his major investigation. We're talking about, this is going to be on the 26th. It's going to be Wednesday, actually. Thursday. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be Thursday. And apparently on-chain detective ZachXBT is going to be dropping a major investigation report on one of crypto's most profitable businesses, where, quote, multiple employees abused internal data to insider trade over a prolonged period, unquote. LMFG. Here we go. Now, this guy knows what he's doing. He's synonymous for breaking big stories. He's saying this is going to rock the crypto space. We don't need any more bombs. We really don't. I don't know what this guy's about to drop on Thursday, but I'm going to have my ear to the wood. And I can't wait to see what he's going to drop. Now, here's a couple of bullet points. And by the way, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, this is his logo. So while I'm into this, I'm going to pull his logo up while we're getting this ZachXBT, the anonymous one. So Polymarket already has 3 million plus bet volume on who the target is. Now, some say it's Meteora, which is a leading target here. Pump.fun, Axiom, etc. These are the leading ones that people are saying that are going to be in this bombshell report. It doesn't shock me that Pump.fun is one of the leading candidates for being absolutely nuked on Thursday. What do you think, bro? My money's on Pump.fun.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it ain't too bad. And then there's going to be, like you said, then everybody's got to start digging and find out what is and what isn't. We'll see.
I think it's Pump.fun. Meteora, that's that's the Solana thing right there. Oh man, this is crazy. Some tokens are already dumping in fear, so you got a lot of. I saw that too. A lot of tokens are already dumping. It's crazy. This is a Wall Street plus crypto issue, is what's being said. Crazy, man. I don't know what to say about this, brother. There's a lot of things that are already going on, but if ZachXBT, if he's about to drop a bombshell on a major crypto project or ecosystem, and it has anything to do with insider stuff, it's going to turn the space upside down. It's not going to be good. So we shall see what's going to be happening. There's a lot of people that have their own opinions about this. Zach said it's not an exchange. Okay. So it's not going to be exchange. So Meteor is out of the question. It's not about Polymarket either. This is what I'm reading here. It's not about, so yeah, I don't think he's going to give it to us. Yeah, he's saying he's being this is hilarious right here. He's being actually harassed by a lot of the prediction market people, essentially. So is that a guilt trip? And that says CZ is sweating. This is what CZ is sweating for the. He's sweating. I don't know if he said it's not an exchange. I don't think you can really, put anything on CZ, man. Some of these memes are crazy. LMFG, what's your take? What do you think? What do you think is going to drop?
I don't know. I really don't. We'll have to just wait and see, The old man's way. Just wait and see.
That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. There's a lot breaking right now, but I want to ease up because and the Epstein thing is coming back. And I knew they were going to do this to Trump before the actual State of the Union. They're already doing it. We'll end with some Trump news. It's just I knew they was going to do it to him. So they're going to do it. LMG, we're starting with a bang already, brother. Justice Department withheld and removed some Epstein files related to President Trump. This was coming. It was coming before the State of the Union address. Oh man, what do you think he's gonna do? Is he gonna crush crypto, or are we gonna get more tariffs? Because I don't think he can go any higher. Is this good for crypto? Is USD1 is Worldly Finance good for crypto? Elizabeth Warren says no. Did we make a mistake making Trump the crypto president? Is this a big mistake? Because the sentiment is we screwed up, bro. I don't know. What's your take, bro?
I say he's pro. The problem is all the business, with the business that the kids are in. So they're just going after it's Trump's business. It's Trump's business, you know? I mean, every president's kids and family has businesses.
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
Even hell, look at what's his name? Biden's kid, right? He made what, $5, $8, $10 million on a business that was bogus even.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. And tonight, I don't think it's going to have an impact. And I just really hope to God that Susie Wiles really got him pulled in. I'm serious. I don't think it was for her. He wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
She's the one keeping him calmed down a little bit. You see her, and you now see her. She's now jumping on Air Force One with him.
Really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, trying to rein him in because he's still, he talks like a jerk, like I said tonight. And that's funny if only one justice shows up, and I guarantee he's going to stare right at him. Yeah. And, and if it's one of the guys that went against him. And that makes the president look like an ass. He's got to talk like Reagan. If he talks like Reagan did tonight, rock and roll.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Yeah,
he'll be all right. Otherwise, but I doubt it.
No, he's not. He doesn't have an ounce of Reagan blood in him. Come on. That ain't happening. Tell him, FG, that's wishful thinking, brother. But this man right here, I have nothing against him, but he doesn't have Reagan blood in him.
Tonight.
He's going to go completely off. He's going to go completely off. I just hope it doesn't affect crypto because we're already heard ZachXBT. He's going to be landing on us on Thursday. Who knows? He's going to bring down some people. It's going to not be good at all. And then you have Jamie Dimon with this. It's just ridiculous, man. I mean, he's scaring the crap out of the stock market with this, and he's right. He's right. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says he is starting to see parallels between current market conditions and the period before 2008 financial crisis. And you talked about this earlier.
Yeah, that's guys, Blue Owl Capital dumping that much. And like, oh, it's not going to hurt them. They'll be okay. We heard that song. We've heard that song back in 2008 with a few of them, right?
Yeah, we know how that turned out. I have to tell you, it's getting crazy right now. It's getting crazy. There was a lot of headlines that are popping up right now. I wish I had another hour because we really need to go through that, but we can't. Peter Thiel dumped a lot of ETH today as well. The whole treasury. LMFG, as we move to the giveaway, these guys are they're dumping the treasuries. They're not just, dumping like their personal wallets and things of that nature. You have devs, you have DeFi devs just totally imploding their projects. You have these large investors in ETH and Solana. They're dumping, large amounts of wallets. And then you have these fund managers, these funds that are holding crypto. They're dumping their treasuries, large amounts of ETH, large amounts of Solana, large amounts of Bitcoin. Where are we going, bro? I mean, it's...
Right. I forget the mining company, but there was a mining company that wiped all of them out. They pretty much dumped all of their mining rewards from over the years. And, I believe it was a couple $100 million worth.
I've been reading a lot of dumping, a lot of dumpage. Well, I think a lot of these decentralized, and I love DeFi, but a lot of these, you can look at it, the TVL is scary as hell. A lot of these particular decentralized finance protocols, they're dying. They're literally dying. The devs are literally taking the money out, the back end, and they're blaming it on hackers. They're blaming it on third parties, and then they're just closing up shop. Because they know if they don't, they're going to go broke. They're not going to be able to, own up to the commitments. Especially in these staking pools, the liquidity is going dry. So a lot of these, poorly built decentralized applications, they're going belly up. You're going to see this. Actually, this is going to be an expedited event. It's going to get even more. You're going to see more within the weeks. It's not just Zero Land. It's not just, the one we're talking about today, Step Finance. It's going to be even more going into the future in weeks and beyond, because the great flush has started. The great purge has started. Only the strong is going to survive this. That's it. LMFG, that's it.
Yeah, and I think what's happening with the miners, they're being smart because they take a couple $100 million, help put it in USDC at 4%.
Right.
And now they at least getting to pay their electric bill and the maintenance on whatever mining equipment they have. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I would be doing if I was a miner and still wanted to hang in there.
Absolutely. This headline is very scary. Bitcoin ETFs go to zero sooner than you think if outflows don't slow down, as 8.5 billion leaves since October. While Bitcoin ETFs have seen $53 billion in cumulative inflows since launch, the current rate of outflow is mildly alarming. And I'm looking at this as well. That is very, very chilling. So this is the bad side of ETFs. If these outflows continue, because this is the floor, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel so bad for Michael Saylor. It looked like a great idea, 10 months ago. Looked like a great idea. Not so much right now. Bitcoin was never built for this shit. And I digress. I digress. That's crazy. It's the bad side of these ETFs, guys. I don't think Bitcoin is going to zero, but this outflow has to stop because you're going to have retail institutional outflow that's going to start picking up as well. And if it joins this ETF outflow, it's going to be another tsunami wave. So we're heading into the great correction. A lot of altcoins are going to die. If the devs aren't serious, especially if they're not collateralized, they don't have money, they're gone. They're going to take whatever money is within the protocol, they're going to skate. This is what we're seeing happen right now before our eyes, LMFG. They're going to take what's left and they're going to skate. And then we're never going to find them. Because there's a lot. I digress. So let's get into this. Let's do something fun. And we're going to give away some cash, give away some souls to the members. I got to make sure we got everybody on this wheel here. Let me go ahead and do a double check, guys. And then we'll spin this. We'll get 3 winners so we can give you some soul. And we'll close it out.
Hope anybody up there in the Northeast, don't kill yourself shoveling that snow. Stay in the house for a few days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Joe Haynes, I4V, thanks for showing up, brother. Thanks for coming to the stream. I hope you enjoyed the stream as well. All right, so I think we got everybody. So we're going to spin this wheel and we're going to get some winners. And all you have to do is become a member of the channel. And I do member content every week. Sometimes it's a post like today, but we do videos as well. And we do giveaways. We take the comments that are on these member videos and member content, your actual interactions. And I put you on the wheel here and we spin this puppy and we give out cash every week just for member appreciation. I love you guys. Let's go ahead and do it because I think we got a superhero group here. Let's go. LMFG, you won last week, and look who's coming up again, bro. Is it gonna be a trifecta? What do we got? I think it's gonna be Beloved Summer. Absolutely. So we got Beloved Summer is gonna be the first one. Hadn't seen Beloved on there. LMFG, you almost pulled it off again. That would have been a trifecta. That would have been crazy.
Crazy. I never win anything. And here it goes.
You almost got it, bro. And I never told you guys this, but if you are that lucky to where you win 3 weeks in a row, I double the prize. I completely ×2 the reward. So I wanted to get that out there. So I see if somebody could be. You almost got it, bro. I never said that, but yeah, that's one of the perks here. If you are lucky enough to win 3 weeks in a row, you get a ×2 on your reward that third time. So very, very cool. So Beloved Summer, you are the first one. Let's go ahead and get 2 more. I'm going to call Wolford. No, I don't know. Alina looks like she's really catching up to Wolford. I think Alina got it. Yep. Is it going to be Alina 654? Great win, Alina. Let's go ahead and get 1 more. That was a good spin right there. So I'm gonna go with Jay Thacker. I think Jay, I think you pulled it off, brother. Jay Thacker 3165. Congratulations. Jay is a good guy, man. Jay, you are a winner, bro. So let's go ahead and count them all down. LMFG. You almost got close, bro. You almost got that times too, brother. All right, so we got Beloved Summers going to be that first winner. Alina 654 is going to be number 2. Jay says, finally. You were in a drought there for a minute, brother, but you got on, man. You got it, brother. You know what to do, man. Send me that soul address, brother. And Jay Thacker, honestly, you are number 3, brother. Hand clap to you, man. Uh-oh, I'm getting a little crazy with the button here. What the hell? I think I just killed my, yeah, that's not good. So I gotta fix that. I just nuked my soundboard. Not good. So Jay, Alina, Beloved Summer, congratulations to you guys. All right, congratulations. So LMFG, what's it take, brother? Take us out, man.
Just sit back and relax, be all good. And I think we get, doesn't Powell speak, goes over the minutes, and we get PPI numbers.
Oh, we're getting those today? I didn't know that. We get those today?
Wednesday, I think Wednesday, or I don't know if he wait, I'm not positive when he speaks
Wednesday.
The notes. And then you got March, I think 18th, is it? A few weeks.
Yeah.
And then the FOMC meeting, see what he says. And we'll take it from there. Volatility, it's there, guys. I just DCA where I'm underwater.
Yeah.
You know, everyone enjoy, be safe. Stay warm up there in the Northeast.
Definitely stay warm, man. I hope everybody made it out of that blizzard. That was crazy. So just be careful. Be looking out for ZachXBT's report on Thursday. It's going to be a bombshell report. Will it be Polymarket? I don't think so. It won't be any exchanges, but I'm thinking it's pump.fun. And that's not going to surprise me. I don't think it's going to surprise you guys as well. I don't see anything that's actually popping at all. We talked about what Jamie said. That's really shaking up the market. It's not affecting the crypto market. And I wanted to put this out to Martin Short, the comedian, for you OGers, you know, you 70s and 80s babies. He lost his daughter today to unfortunately unalived herself. You know, prayers sent to Martin Short. I actually seen this dude live, you know, at the United Artists back in college. He came to United Artists Arena there. And I seen this guy live, and I got to meet this guy. So Martin Short, his daughter, unfortunately unalived herself. So, you know, that's bad. But, you know, prayers to Martin Short. He's a really, really funny guy. All right, man. We're out of here. LMFG, you have a good one, brother. We'll catch you.
Rock and roll.